Hello, everybody, again, and welcome to another episode of Stock Talk. I am your host, Mike, and co-hosting with me today is
Kage. Hi there.
Kage is here, and we're going to cover some things here, near, where, I don't know, everywhere. And that's your bad rhyme for the day. So, I've got a good show planned for you today. Apparently, Jamie Dimon says Bitcoin was worthless. Yeah, the head of old Mr. CEO Jamie Dimon, not Diamond, but Dimon, says cryptocurrency is Bitcoin is worthless as cryptocurrency tops 57,000. Interesting there, Kage. What's your take on that so far?
I do not believe a word that has come out of that man's mouth. Like, JP Morgan is just known for being Mr. Moneybags. And
Yeah.
if he says it's worthless and everything, it's likely he has stock in it because
Yeah, exactly.
he wants to have everyone sell so he can make a good buy and charge people through the nose.
Sounds like Jamie Dimon wants to grab some of the cheap seats there, doesn't he?
Yes, it does.
It sounds like he wants to try to scare some people off, Jamie, but nobody listens to you guys because you're not relevant. The alphabet news ain't relevant. There's only a certain population. The other populations have turned this crap off. So I think you probably need to go to some other platforms there because the dinosaur media is freaking is what we think there.
Yeah.
The Mockingbirds.
I'd try another scam, but I don't know if you can make another scam, JP Morgan. I don't know how many scams you've got up your sleeve, but it looks like
this is a bad PR move. I mean, it's just the thing that these goofballs don't realize, and they're trying to figure out, is they don't understand that it's going to be constantly evolving. You could try to take one out, they're going to make another. You could try to take this one out, and they're going to take another. So you might as well stick with Bitcoin and be on with the future. So you might as well take it, live with it, and deal with it, and get on with the new age technology. Because Bitcoin people and apes, we're not going anywhere. We're not going to stop. So he personally thinks that Bitcoin is worthless. He also said during the Institute of International Finance event, I wonder how many people actually were there that were actually anybody into Bitcoin. You think there was anybody there that got invited?
Not likely.
Yeah, I'm thinking probably it was a champagne caviar night, caviar club kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Just another one of those Gilded Age parties and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
All the people from JP Morgan and Rothschilds.
Yeah. He also said, I just don't care. It makes no difference to me. Our clients are adults. Your clients trade Bitcoin, my friend, and they made a lot of money trading Bitcoin. You should actually start thinking of where your clients are. New wave, if you know what I mean. They say that this makes the market. So if you want to have access to buy yourself Bitcoin, you can't have custody, but you can always be legitimate, as clean as possible access. He said, true to the statement in February 2019 when it rolled out digital currency called JMP coin. So it's okay to have JMP coin, but it's not okay to have Bitcoin, according to him, huh? So that's why he doesn't want to do it, huh?
So he wants to make his own currency, the one that's controlled exclusively
Of course.
by him.
Of course, yeah. That's what they do, though. See, they'll say one thing and then they'll pair it over to their deal, and that's what they do, because that's why we call them the Mockingbirds. They'll come out with some other thing because he's got another thing in the hopper, so he wants to go ahead and do that. But I'm pretty good on this one as far as because it's the alphabet media. They've already tried to crack down in China, but I don't even think you're going to be able to crack down in China because China's making too much money on the machinery. China will say it's cracking. That's what these people don't realize. They try to say that China says they're going to do stuff with them, but what does China always end up doing? They always end up playing them all the time. China usually doesn't do what they think they're going to do. So I just one of these days they got to realize that China's not going to listen to them all the time. You know?
I think China's just going to do their own thing.
Mm-hmm.
They've always done their own thing, and
yeah. And this
they apparently despise the West.
Yeah, and this isn't me trying to carry the cooler for China. If you know me, Kage, I'm not a cooler carrier for the CCP whatsoever. Like I said, I'm a realist. I just call it as I see it. So I'm just saying that they're gonna do what they want to do, and they're not gonna be pushed around, unless the only way they're gonna be pushed around maybe is it depends how much scratch they get, and they get a lot of scratch. So from these people, but it just depends how far money talks, and we'll see what happens. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
we'll see how money talks.
Yeah. So we'll cut off what Diamond says as far as that he thinks regulators are going to regulate the hell of it. Well, thanks, Professor. We didn't know that was coming. So he said recently the U.S. government had a heightened focus. Of course he knows that they had a heightened focus on regulating cryptocurrency. How would he know that? You know, you think maybe he has some inside friends there in there or no?
He's definitely involved.
Yeah.
If he's not directly involved, he knows people who are.
Yeah, exactly. It must be nice. It must be nice if you have the inside baseball to everything. But that's another show for another day. We'll get on with it since we, the little people, are going to the Lollipop Kids. We're going to talk about other things with pharmaceutical companies because we like to carry the cooler for those, right? We do have an interesting company we do want to talk about. It comes from our friends over at mvis Analytics, and we're going to cover that right now. Okay, guys, so the next stock and first stock we're going to talk about is ARDX. ARDX. Currently, last tick was $1.29. Now, Kage, this is a biopharmaceutical stock. It is very, very cheap for where they're at. They're working on kidney disorders and things like that. Never covered them before. I was tipped off to this one from mvis Analytics, and no, mvis didn't pay me. They just went on our Facebook group, and you can read this article on our Facebook group to get more information about it. That's why we say we have the latest cutting information. Be here, be nowhere. So on this one, Kage, in December of 2020, you had this thing trending about $5. There was some news that popped here and there, maybe some promotion, things like that. And it was above about $7.50, $8, and then it took a dive at below $7.50 around October 21st, and it's barely treading water now. What say you about this one?
I think it's being promoted. I think like short term.
Yeah, you got to keep it. You got to keep it. I haven't seen. I mean, I've seen this article right here that showed up. This was actually given to me. Not like personally, I'm not on a personal basis with these people, but it was sent to me from them, the people that write the pieces for this. And no, I didn't get paid. They're part of the members, and it's all accessible to you guys. It was actually posted over the weekend when it showed up to the group there, Kage. So going into it with them, biopharmaceutical company which engages in research and development and commercialization of medicine and treatment. Okay, guys, so it looks like they work on the treatment for cardiorenal diseases. Its product portfolio includes an experimental medication that works exclusively in the gut in the late stage of clinical development. The company was founded by Dominique Charmet, if that's how you pronounce her name. Sorry if I butchered it. What say you so far about this one there, as far as any research that you've seen or done on this one?
Well, I'm looking at the webpage about us, and it looks like their core values are pretty good. Their management team looks pretty legit. Looks like the company was founded in 2007, and looks like they're into life-changing medicines.
Yeah, I have a plug here from mvis Analytics. It says they're lead candidate for targeted first class for oral small molecule intended to control the serum phosphorus in adult patients. That's interesting there. Looks like they take acting locally in the gut with the NHE3. It results in decreased phosphate absorption through the effective cellular way there. And I'm not a microbiologist or any type of into medicine there sometimes. So forgive me if there's some flub ups up here. My first take on this though, Kage, is that with this type of stock here, you are getting this on the dirt cheap end there.
Yeah, it seems like a good company overall to invest in. Medicine's always going to have a place.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, if you can get in on the cheap, all more power to you.
Yeah.
Just see where it goes and
find out where your buy point is.
Make your own good choices.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like the company received a complete response letter related to the new drug application here. It says the FDA has requested ARDX to conduct an additional well-controlled trial that can demonstrate significant treatment effects of serum phosphorus. The company intended to request the Type A meeting with the FDA to determine the future cost of action of the approved, Tenopur. The company has conducted phase 3 clinical trials for 2 monotherapy trials that block the freedom and the one dual mechanism, and to trial Amplify, which demonstrates that it can reduce phosphorus if taken twice daily. The monotherapy as part of the dual mechanism approach. The company submitted a new drug application to the US FDA June 20th, 2020, and was granted prescription use free. With this, it's expected to be a potential blockbuster drug with several $100 million in annual sales. If offered a reduced daily pill burden when compared to phosphate binder therapies, such as what's going on now, the news was surprising as the company also conducted comprehensive label discussions for filled additional response data for the FDA. So with this information, from what I have read, if they are in this type of, if they're in this base trial, and you're getting this information right now, and it is where it is at, this is a good buy point, I would say, before the next news pops. You could get this at the cheap, and then if you want to, you can long hold, or you could short this thing where it could go back to $8. I think it's going back to $8. What say you? It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, I think it's only a matter of time before the trials are complete and all the legal loopholes are all jumped through. So
yeah, I mean, as far as, and you can read that we covered pretty much the meat of mvis Analytics. You can read the article on the Facebook group to go there. It looks like they have in there, mvis has on the article, it says, an area with a large unmet need, the National Institute of Diabetes and Digestive and Kidney Diseases defines chronic kidney disease, CKD, as the inability of the kidneys to filter blood due to factors such as diabetes, heart disease, high blood pressure, yada yada, intestinal stuff, things like that. There are minimal or no signs of the disease in the stages where the patient may not realize they're affected by this condition. But with that, these guys are doing that research to help improve that. And if they do, that's going to be revolutionary and breakthrough in that as well. So they've been successful before. It's just a matter of time before the news pops on the next breakthrough, and then the rest will be history. And you won't be sitting on the fence, say stuff goes down with some of these other companies. Well, guess what? You were protected because you bought into one of the drug companies. You know, and this is what we've been saying on this show for the longest time, is that start looking. We're not saying to panic and don't drop all your crap. We're not saying do any of that, because that's just stupid. What we are saying is be smarter and, you know, look into some other things, and it might just change some of how you're thinking about some things. So these long holds sometimes aren't that bad. So, but this is one where I see that once they hit that letter, like we've seen in all the pharmaceutical stocks we talk about, because that's what we do on this show, is information. We're not the show, again, where we're going to tell you, check out the resistance and all this stuff and everything, and when's a good buy point. That's not our job. Our job is to just give you as much information as we can, and our listeners put in their information too, right there, Kage?
Yeah, we're just here to let you know what this stock is doing, how it's behaving, what this company is about, what kind of products that they're involved with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we won't cover any alphabets because we pretty much covered this part on this guy. Do you have anything from Stockwitz, what they're saying on there, where the real traders are at? So going back to this stock here, as far as with what we found for chat boards, there's nothing on it. So if you want to go out and start one out there to get it going, get the rally, there you go. I'm thinking that too many people are probably sitting on this one. Just cause maybe there's just not enough hype yet, but this thing, you're going to see some traction with what they're doing and everything. It's simply too cheap for where it's at for it to stay that way. Don't you think it's too cheap of real estate to ignore there, Kage?
I think it might be a little on the down low. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's just being. It's just being caught on the down low. No one really wants to talk about it right now.
Yeah, well, with the plug of Advise Analytics, maybe that'll help get the company some name. And yeah, check it out. If you don't have access to the article, go to the Facebook group, join the Facebook group, and you can check out the article that they wrote there. It's a good piece. So it covers in more detail of what they do. So moving on to the next one, we have MVIS. MVIS. Last tick was $9.47. After hours, it was down 4 cents because there's a little bit of hype to it. Going on through December 20, obviously with new plans of new funding, things like that with government, you have the stock almost above $20 twice. Around June 21st, a little bit after June 21st, you had it above $20, and then we just saw Skyfall flying through. Never mind. You got the point, but it just dropped. It was dropping like it's hot. So going in through, Microvision engages the development of laser beam scanning technology. Maybe like sharks with lasers there, Kage?
I don't know about sharks with lasers, but definitely sights for military. That's what I'm guessing is that they're for.
That was my favorite thing from Austin Powers. All I want is sharks with frickin' laser beams. You know, that was a bad interpretation of that, but whatever. It offers its product under the micro brand Pico scanning technology. Has addressed the following market segments of interactive and non-interactive project displays for 3D perspective for consumer electronics there, Kage. What have you dug up on this one so far?
I'm getting mixed results on Stockwitz about a lot of people say it's bullish, but some of it says they're bearish, but
yeah, it could be some of the people that have bounced out. You could probably read up on the alphabets to see what they've been parroting and things like that. It could also be that it could be sour patches that got taken because they bought into the hype and then it dropped so much because they don't understand how these patterns work yet. But you figure it out after a while. You get used to it. That's what we're here for, to help you with understanding patterns and things like that and promotions. So. Because
it looks mostly bullish from most of the comments that I'm scrolling down, but yeah.
Okay, so going into their mission statement, it says they have the highest resolution and full velocity of long-range automotive LiDAR sensor. Microvision's LiDAR technology enhances the capabilities of drivers to respond to everyday driving conditions. They built an automotive LiDAR products with proprietary micro electromechanical systems based on the time flight of architecture. Their sensor will be reliable, cost-effective, and scalable for automotive use. You have your resolution at range, velocity, latency, interference immunity. They say one of the advantages is a 250-meter detection range. Provides ample reaction time on the speed of a highway. Well, that can help, especially if someone's coming the wrong way there, huh, Kage?
Yeah, I imagine so.
Yeah, that would help out a ton. So that's the thing. This isn't trying to get people's attention or anything like that, or say something crazy out of the ordinary. But for a company to have that kind of technology, and for anything, even if someone else has already came out with it or whatever, still for someone to have that, and for someone to go on there and be like, oh, this thing's a bear, dude. Well, dude, it's at a $9 stock, dude. It could be a bear, but I mean, just for now, for a second, but it's obviously got to come back, especially if it was at 20 beans before or above that. So.
Well, yeah, you might have some trolls in there.
You're always going to get trolls all the time. They think they know everything, or they got burned and they just have to vent online because they didn't see the pattern to where their buy point might have missed, and they just started throwing a temper tantrum online.
Yeah.
Nobody likes Sour Patches, guys. So going into the technology, we're going to go a little bit more into that. Did you see the intellectual property they have?
What was that? You were breaking up there.
Did you see the intellectual property they have? Did you go to that page part of it or no?
International property?
Intellectual property.
Intellectual property.
Yeah, it looks like they're developing an MEMS technology, 1997, since 1997, to meet the cost and size requirements of the laser beam scanning. Did I say laser beam scanning? Yes, I did.
Yeah, I think what their main thing is that they're doing is they're trying to come up with these new optics that are going to range to things, and also factor in a whole bunch of other smart technology into it.
Yeah, they're taking the MMS technology IP contains innovations in bioaxial scanning, electromagnetic PZT actuation technologies, high-fidelity position feedback, and drive control systems, as well as fabrication and packaging. That's pretty crazy, dude, if you ask me.
Yeah, smart technology coming a long way.
Yep. So they have all the little demonstrations there. You can go on there to check that out. How would you? The website's not bad. I like the introduction there. What about you?
I like it. It's
yeah.
To the point.
Yeah, and it's the thing. What I like about the website is just that it's not one of those ones where it's like trying to like fool you or anything. They're just like, hey, this is our website. Here it is, and like check it out. So. It doesn't look. What I'm trying to say is it doesn't look fake. It actually looks like, hey, it's a decent company.
It looks really legitimate.
Yeah. It doesn't. When you go on the website, it doesn't look like they're trying to fool anybody or anything like that. It looks like a straight up biz company there for this is what we do and here it is, dude. So, and they've gone up enough and they've sat at this spot right here that it's. I don't think it's going to go further down than what it is. I can only see it coming up for what they're doing. So this is
for what they're doing with the contracts that they've got, it's going to go up.
Yeah, for what they're doing and everything, I say as well as that's just my opinion that yeah, we got this thing is simply too cheap for where it's at. So, but yeah, that's what do you got on Stockwitz as far as any takes from what people are saying?
Let me take a look at some of the.
Okay, I'll read off some.
It looks like this one says, "Washi borscht you ever eat bear meat?"
He must be talking smack.
Yeah, probably.
Illuminati's on there. Illuminati's got it. It's a long haul.
Now they even got a talking turd.
Yeah, Greener Pastures is pretty funny. Illuminati, he's always on there. He's got It's a Long Hold, and he's got some chick he likes or something like that on there. She's got It's a Long Hold. So,
this one from Queenie Queen is I'm a bull, but people took the piss out of me and got mad for selling at $28.
This is why we
take profit on the major runs and buy the dips like now. A lot of bulls here are too emotionally involved. I'm long, but I like to swing 30-40%.
Yeah, exactly, guys. Don't get emotionally attached to these things. And when you see stuff, you got to remember the Ricky rule. The Ricky Gutierrez rule is that you want to, if you're in, you got to lock profits and you got to drop and then go back and get back in. That's just part of the game. So you got to always make sure you're walking away with a profit. Yeah, long hold is good, but if you got to make a profit to get back in, you got to do what you got to do because you got to make that paper, you know. You got Mitchap. He says that let's go Brandon. What's that channel all about there?
I don't know.
Are you allowed to even say that anymore, or do you get censored for saying that?
I would mostly just play it safe.
Yeah, you never know there. They'll freaking cut you off for anything these days. So, it's the newbie says, does this mean first models were built using Gen 4 MEMS, and since then they tried Gen 5 and they want to include it in the baseline model? If so, can we finally get a new contract? He just said stay tuned, and he posted an article there of what he was referencing that to. So, do you got anything on this? I'm thinking this is a safe play. I mean, as far as that, if you're getting in, I think there's some dineros to be made here. So,
yeah, just don't look at the downturns.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the overall picture of it.
Yeah.
Make your decision.
Yeah, exactly. So as far as all this stuff, everything we covered, I'm pretty much done with what I got to say. What about you?
I don't really have much else to say. Just find your price point, take your risks, and just watch it carefully.
Yeah, and don't make it a dog show. And good night now!